So in our previous video we have created this board and we have started to create this item. So if I add another item in our array, items array, you will see the item will be added to our board. But now in this video what I want is our items to look like this. So let's try to do that. So first thing I'm going to do is in the boards, instead of simply using this paragraph text, I'm going to create a component for our item. So let me open the sidebar, and in the components folder let's create a new file called item.vue. Okay, let's create a template. For now let's just use a div that will have a class of item, and inside that for now let's just say test item, like so. So now we have to use it in our board component. So let's say import, and we're going to import item from, and we're going to say @components. So @components / item.vue. And now we have to add it in our components property. So we're going to have a property called components. Inside that we're going to have one component called item. So now we can use the item here instead of this paragraph. So comment this out and let's use the component that we just created, like so. So this is our item. So now we also want to loop through the items instead of hard coding them, like so. So let's copy the loop here. So Ctrl C, and we're going to paste it here, Ctrl V. Now let's delete this, close the sidebar, and now we have two items shown. That is because in our array we only have 2 items. Let's try to add another one, and now we have 3 items. So what we want is whenever this component is used, we have to pass a data called item. So let's say in the script section we're going to receive a prop. So the prop will be, we can use array or object, you know that. So let's just use array. So we want a prop called item. So copy it. So in the boards component where we're looping through this, we're gonna say :item equals to, and we're going to pass the item. So just say item, like so. So now in the item component we should be able to say in the curly braces, say item.title. So item.title. So if we say that, now it says test item. If we change our title to something else, for example, this can say 1, this can say 2, and this can say 3. Save it, and now it says test item 1, test item 2, test item 3. Okay, so now we're using a component for our item, and now we will style them like so. So we don't want just a title, we want our item to have a priority property. So like so, priority can be high, medium, or low. So let's do that. So instead of just having the title, we also want to have a property called priority. So first one can be high, the second one can be low, and third one can be medium, like so. And we should be able to access that priority here also. So let's try to do that. So if we say item.priority, it should give us the priority of our item. As you can see, it says high, medium, low, but we have to style them like we had in our finished project. So let's do that. So instead of this, I'm going to have a div with a class of head. Inside that, first thing we're going to do is have this priority badge, and then in the right side we also have this icon. So let's do that. So I'm going to have a span tag. In the span I'm going to have another span, and this span will say priority, and then I'm going to have another span that will have a class of badge. So I'm going to say span.badge, and inside that we're going to show the priority of our item. So we can say item.priority, like so. So now our priority is shown, and we also want to icon. So for the icon we are going to use font awesomes again. So we can say I, and the class will be FAS, and we're going to use the sort icon. So FA-sort. So if we save this, as you can see, we have this icon here. let's style it a little bit better so we can target our item. Control C, go to styles, and let's paste that class. Control V, and let's copy some styles from our board. So we can copy the padding, box shadow, and border radius. We don't need the border top. If we save this, this is how our items now look. So let's say this should have some margin bottom. So let's say margin bottom of, let's try 0.5 em. Actually 1 em. Yeah, 1 em should be good enough. So let's target the head in the item. So we're gonna say .item.head. Actually, let's target the priority text here in the items. Inside this head we have this pen. Let's give this pen a class. So let's say class equals to priority, and copy this, paste it in our style, and let's say this should have a font weight of bold. Say font weight of bold, like so. Okay, it looks like the style is not applied. Let's see what is wrong. We have to save it, and now the style is applied. Now let's target our badge. So let's say Ctrl C, badge, and paste it. So let's say our badge should have some padding. So let's say padding of, let's try 0.5 em, and let's give it a background color so we can see it. So let's say background color of red for now, like so. This is how it looks. So instead of saying top bottom 5 em, we are going to say the top bottom should be, let's say 0.3 em, and left right can be 0.75 em. It should be em. So this is how it looks. So let's add some border radius to it as well. Let's say border radius can be 3 pixels for now. Okay, this should be good enough. And also add some margin on the left. So let's say margin left of, let's try 1 em. And let's see how close it is to the finished project. Okay, looks like we don't have that much margin on the right, on the left. So let's say margin left can be, let's say 0.5 em, like so, and the color will be white. So let's say color equals to shift hashtag FFF, like so. And the text transform of them will be uppercase. So let's say text transform to uppercase, like so. And the items can have a slightly lighter shadow, like so. And also let's give our badge a little bit of shadow. So let's copy this, paste it, and let's say the blur on the y-axis should be 2 pixel. The offset from the y will be 2 pixel, and the blur will be, let's say 3 pixel, like so. So we have really small amount of shadow that we can't really see. And what we also want is, let me go to the finished project again. So the color of our icon should be same as the color of our board. So let's try to do that. So I'm going to go to our board, and here we are not only going to pass the item, we are also going to pass a color. So we're going to say dot color. Oops, it should be dot color, CLR for color, and the color can be board dot color. Like so. So now in the component we are also going to receive another prop called color, and we can use it. So let's use style binding. So inside the icon we're gonna say :style, and we're going to say color, the color we pass when using the component. So save it. So now in the home component, if our board had a color of green, now not only border will be green, but our icons here, the sort icons here, will also be green. So what I want is that when you hover on the sort icon, the cursor should change. So let's say in the items, let's copy this class. So apa-sort, Control C, go to our styles. So we're gonna say dot Control V, apa-sort. The cursor should be move, like so. So now if you hover on them, the cursor changes to this move icon, like so. Also the text inside here is a little too big, so let's make them smaller. So let's go to our badge. So let's say the font size. So let's say font dash size, and the font size can be, let's say 0.8 em. Let's try 0.8 em. Yes, 0.8 em looks good. And also say letter spacing. So let's say letter spacing can be 1 pixel. like so. Let's see what else. The priority color is a little bit lighter, so let's make it light. So in the priority, let's say color, and this should be some gray color, so let's choose a gray color, and this should work. Also the text transform, let's see where we are seeing the text transform to uppercase. In the badge we are seeing text transform to uppercase, but our priority text should not be uppercase, so we can say text transform to none here. So let's say text transform to none. Okay, let's see. Okay, here we say uppercase priority, so let's say just normal. We don't want uppercase here, so let's say priority, like so. And we don't need to say text transform to none here, I think. Yes, like so. And then after that we are going to have a paragraph text with a class of title. So let's say dot title. Here we are going to say item dot title. So this is our title, so let's style it. So let me copy the title class, and here we can say dot item dot title, and this should have a font weight of bold again. So font weight will be bold, and let's say the font size can be, let's say 1.1 em, so big font, like so. Let's see how that looks. Let's try 1.2. Also let's change the color, so let me copy this color here and paste it here, and I'm going to make it a little darker, and yes, this should work. And also let's say this should have some margin, so let's say margin, the top bottom will be, let's say 1 em, and left right can be 0, like so. And then we have this delete button, so let's create the delete button. So I'm going to have another paragraph text. Inside that I'm going to have a button, so button.btn, the class will be btn for our button, and this will say delete. So this says delete. Now I want our button to be on the right side, so let's do that. So let's say our paragraph text should have a class of text dash right. So let's say class should be text dash right, and copy the class, go to our style.css, and let's target that. So dot text dash right, and this will be the text align here should be right, like so. So now our button is in the right side, but let's target it, let's style it a little bit different. We want it red color, so let's say this should also have a class of delete. So now let's go to the style back, and let's see where we are styling our buttons. So here it is. So we can say when our button has a class of delete, so .btn.delete, the color should be a red color, so let's say color, let's choose a red color, let's try this, and yeah, this color should be work. Let's also use this color for our background, so Alt Shift down to copy this, and here we can say background color. But of course the background color have to be a lot more lighter, so let's try this, even lighter. And yeah, this is looking pretty good, but we have a little bit too much margin here. So let's say in our title here, where we are saying the margin to be every top and bottom 1 em, instead we are just going to say margin top, so margin top of 1 em. Let's try that. And yes, now it is looking pretty similar to what we had in our finished project, like so. In our finished project, as you can see, when the priority is medium we get this color, when the priority is high we get this color, and when the priority is low we get this color. So let's try to do that. What I'm going to do is create a computed property, so I'm going to say computed. So you know, in the computed we are going to have a function, so let's say the function should be function name should be priority color, and the function have to return something. So for example, for now let's just return blue, and whatever function returns we can use it as our expression, so we can use it. So for example, we can use it as our style. So let's see, here is our priority base. Here we can use class by style binding, so we can say style equals to, and we're going to change the background color, so we can say background color, and the background color will be our priority color, Ctrl V, like so. So now all of them are blue, but instead of just saying blue, what I want to do is, if the priority is medium I want to show this color, if the priority high I want to show this color, and if the priority is low, I want to show this color. So let's try to do that. So instead of just returning blue, I'm going to say if, so we are receiving this item here, so we are able to use this dot item dot priority. So we can say this dot item dot priority. So if the priority is low, I'm going to show this color. Otherwise, if the priority is medium, I want to show this color. Otherwise, if the priority is high, I want to show this color. So if we now save it, as you can see, we got this color. So let me quickly change them to these colors that we have. Okay, I have changed the color to what color we have in our finished project. So if you want, you can copy them. So now they look like what we had in our image or our finished project. Okay, that's gonna be all for now. In the next video, we are going to create a model so we can add a board or add items through that model. So I'll see you in the next video.